The cryptic message from Ethan sends a chill down my spine. His words, though vague, carry an undercurrent of desperation that I can't ignore. Silas, my rock, senses my unease as I pace the living room, my mind racing with possibilities. "Hazel, what's troubling you?" he asks, his voice gentle yet probing. I hand him my phone, the message glaring back at us. "It's Ethan. Something's wrong, Silas. I can feel it in my bones." Silas reads the message, his brow furrowing. "Have you tried calling him?" "Multiple times. Straight to voicemail." My hands tremble as I take back the phone, my thumb hovering over Ethan's name. I have a terrible feeling about this. Just then, the doorbell rings and Olivia bursts in, her face etched with worry. "Grandma, Grandpa, have you heard from Dad? He hasn't been home in 2 days, and Mom's acting strange." My heart sinks further. "Strange how, sweetheart?" Olivia fidgets, her eyes darting between Silas and me. "She's been making hushed phone calls, and I found a bag of money hidden in her closet. When I asked her about it, she snapped at me." Silas and I exchange a knowing glance. Natalie's behavior has always been a point of contention, but this takes it to a new level. "Don't worry, Olivia," I assure her, pulling her into a tight hug. "We'll get to the bottom of this. Your dad's strong, and we won't rest until we find him." As Olivia leans into my embrace, I catch Silas's eye over her head. The determination in his gaze mirrors my own. We've faced our share of challenges, but nothing compares to the thought of our son in danger. "Silas, I need to go to Ethan's house. I have to see for myself what's going on." He nods, understanding the urgency in my voice. "I'll stay with Olivia. You be careful, Hazel, and keep me updated." I grab my keys and head for the door, my mind already racing with the possibilities of what I might find. As I drive through the familiar streets, my thoughts drift to the past, the laughter, the tears, the moments that shaped our family. Ethan's distance had always been a source of pain, but I never imagined it would lead to this. Pulling up to Ethan's house, an eerie stillness greets me. The curtains are drawn, and the lawn is overgrown. I approach the front door, my heart pounding in my chest. I knock once, twice, 3 times. No answer. Using the spare key Ethan gave me years ago, I let myself in. The house is in disarray, papers strewn across the floor, furniture overturned. A sense of dread washes over me as I navigate the chaos, searching for any sign of my son. And then I see it. A hidden door, slightly ajar, revealing a dimly lit room. With trembling hands, I push it open, not prepared for the sight that greets me. Stacks of cash, bags of white powder, and a map with marked locations. The evidence is damning, and the implications send my mind reeling. My son, my Ethan, is caught up in something far more dangerous than I ever imagined. And Natalie, the pieces start to fall into place, painting a picture I wish I could unsee. I steady myself against the wall, my resolve hardening with each passing second. I won't let this destroy my family. I'll find Ethan, and I'll make sure Natalie faces the consequences of her actions, no matter the cost. The weight of Olivia's words hangs heavy in the air as I sit across from her, my mind reeling from the revelations about Natalie. The pieces of the puzzle start to fall into place, forming a disturbing picture of deceit and danger. "Grandma, I'm scared," Olivia whispers, her eyes brimming with tears. "Mom's been acting so strange, and now Dad's missing. What if something terrible has happened to him?" I reach out and take her hand, my heart aching for the fear and confusion she must be feeling. "Listen to me, sweetheart. Your grandpa and I will do everything in our power to find your dad and keep you safe. I promise you that." Olivia nods, her lower lip trembling. "I just don't understand why Mom would be involved in something bad. She's always been so loving and supportive." The words taste bitter on my tongue as I reply, "Sometimes people make choices that hurt the ones they love, but that doesn't mean we stop fighting for what's right." As Olivia leaves, I turn my attention to the task at hand. I know I can't confront Natalie directly, not without solid evidence. I need to be smart to gather the proof that will expose her true nature and bring Ethan home safely. I start by digging through Natalie's past, searching for any clues that might shed light on her current activities. Late nights hunched over the computer yield a trail of suspicious financial transactions and cryptic emails. The more I uncover, the more my stomach churns with a sickening realization. Natalie isn't just involved in illegal activities, she's orchestrating a vast drug trafficking operation right under our noses. The weight of this knowledge sits heavy on my shoulders as I grapple with the implications. How could I have been so blind? How could I have let this viper into our family, threatening the lives of those I hold most dear? I print out the incriminating documents, my hands shaking with a mixture of anger and determination. I know I can't do this alone. I need Silas by my side, his unwavering support and level-headed thinking. As I dial his number, I hear a sound that stops me cold. The front door creaks open, and the click of high heels echoes through the house. Natalie's voice, sickeningly sweet, calls out, "Hazel, are you home?" I freeze, my heart pounding in my chest. I can't let her know what I've discovered. I have to play along, to buy myself time. I compose myself and step out of the study, plastering a smile on my face. "Natalie, what a surprise! I wasn't expecting you." Her eyes narrow, a calculating gleam in their depths. "I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd drop by. Ethan's been so busy lately and I've been feeling a bit lonely." The lie rolls off her tongue with practiced ease, and I fight the urge to recoil. "I'm sure he's just tied up with work. You know how dedicated he is to providing for his family." Natalie's lips curve into a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. "Of course. Family is everything, isn't it?" The unspoken threat hangs in the air between us, and I know I'm walking a dangerous line. I need to get Natalie out of the house to buy myself time to plan my next move. "Listen, Natalie, I hate to cut this short, but I have an appointment I can't miss. Let's catch up another time, okay?" She hesitates for a moment, her gaze searching mine for any hint of deception. Finally, she nods, her smile never wavering. "Of course, Hazel, you take care now." As the door closes behind her, I let out a shaky breath. I know I've just stepped into a game of cat and mouse, and the stakes couldn't be higher. But I won't back down. I won't let Natalie destroy the family I've fought so hard to protect. With renewed determination, I gather the evidence and reach for my phone. It's time to bring in reinforcements. It's time to take the fight to Natalie and bring my son home, no matter the cost. The drive to Ethan's house feels like an eternity, my mind racing with the horrifying possibilities of what I might find. As I pull into the driveway, the sight of the disheveled front yard and the eerie stillness of the house sends a chill down my spine. I approach the front door, my heart pounding in my chest. I knock, once, twice, 3 times. No answer. With trembling hands, I retrieve the spare key from under the mat and let myself in. The scene that greets me is one of utter chaos. Furniture overturned, papers strewn across the floor, and an unsettling silence that hangs heavy in the air. I call out Ethan's name, my voice echoing through the empty rooms, but there's no response. As I make my way through the house, a sense of dread washes over me. And then I see it. The hidden room, the door slightly ajar, beckoning me to uncover its secrets. With a deep breath, I step inside, and the sight that greets me knocks the wind from my lungs. Stacks of cash, bags of white powder, and a map with marked locations. The evidence is damning, and the implications are clear. Natalie's drug trafficking operation, laid bare before my eyes. I steady myself against the wall, my mind reeling with the gravity of the situation. I need to act fast, to gather the evidence and get Silas involved. With shaking hands, I pull out my phone and dial his number. "Silas," I breathe, my voice trembling. "I'm at Ethan's. It's worse than we thought. Natalie's involved in something big, and Ethan's nowhere to be found." Silas's voice, calm and reassuring, comes through the line. "Hazel, listen to me. Take photos of everything you see. We need to build a case against Natalie. I'll contact the authorities and start putting together a plan." I do as he says, documenting the incriminating evidence with a sense of urgency. As I work, a sudden noise from outside the room sends my heart racing. I freeze, listening intently, and then I hear it. Natalie's voice, cold and calculating, on the phone. "I don't care what it takes," she hisses. "Ethan's becoming a liability. We need to get rid of him before he talks." My blood runs cold at her words, and I know I'm running out of time. I need to find Ethan to save him from Natalie's clutches before it's too late. I slip out of the house, my mind racing with possibilities. I know I can't do this alone. I need to infiltrate Natalie's operation, to gather insider information and locate Ethan. With a plan forming in my mind, I make a call to an old friend, a former cop with connections in the underworld. "Jack, it's Hazel. I need your help. My son's life is on the line." Jack listens intently as I explain the situation, his voice grim. Hazel, what you're proposing is dangerous, but I understand. I'll set up a meeting with one of Natalie's associates. You'll pose as a buyer, get close to them, and see what you can find out. I hang up the phone, my heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. I know I'm about to step into the lion's den, but I'll do whatever it takes to save my son. As I prepare for the meeting, I can't shake the image of Natalie's cold, calculating eyes from my mind. She's a viper, a monster hiding in plain sight, and I won't rest until I've exposed her true nature and brought Ethan home safely. I take a deep breath, steeling myself for the dangerous game I'm about to play. It's a risk, but it's one I'm willing to take. For Ethan, for Olivia, for the family I've sworn to protect. With a final glance at the photo of my loved ones, I step out into the night, ready to face whatever lies ahead. Natalie may think she's untouchable, but she's about to learn the true strength of a mother's love and the lengths I'll go to keep my family safe. The meeting with Natalie's associate is set, and I find myself in a seedy bar on the outskirts of town. The air is thick with smoke and the stench of stale beer, but I push through the discomfort, my focus solely on the task at hand. I spot him in the corner, a wiry man with a face that speaks of a hard life. I approach cautiously, sliding into the booth across from him. "You Russo?" I ask, my voice steady despite the pounding of my heart. He eyes me warily, his gaze flickering to the briefcase I've placed on the table. Depends on who's asking. I lean in, my voice low. "I hear you're the man to talk to if I'm looking to score some product. I've got the cash, and I'm ready to make a deal." Russo's eyes narrow, and he leans back, assessing me. "You don't look like the usual type. What's your angle?" I shrug, feigning nonchalance. "Money's money, and I've got plenty of it. I'm looking to expand my business, and I need a reliable supplier." He considers my words, his fingers drumming on the table. "All right, I'll bite, but we do this on my terms. Follow me." I nod, grabbing the briefcase and following him out of the bar. We walk for a few blocks, the streets growing increasingly deserted. My senses are on high alert, every shadow a potential threat. Suddenly, Russo turns, his hand reaching for his waistband. I react on instinct, my elbow connecting with his jaw in a sickening crunch. He staggers back, his eyes wide with surprise and fury. "You bitch," he snarls, lunging at me. We grapple, trading blows in a desperate struggle. I land a knee to his groin, and he doubles over, gasping for air. I seize the opportunity, slamming his head against the wall and rendering him unconscious. Panting, I search his pockets, my heart leaping as I find a burner phone. I scroll through the messages, my eyes widening at the wealth of information, locations, shipment details, and a name that sends a chill down my spine. Ethan. I snap photos of the messages, my hands shaking with a mixture of fear and adrenaline. I need to get this information to Silas and the authorities. I need to find Ethan before it's too late. As I make my way back to my car, my phone buzzes with an incoming call. It's Silas, his voice tense with worry. "Hazel, where are you? Are you okay?" "I'm fine," I assure him, my voice trembling slightly. "I've got evidence, Silas. Messages linking Natalie to the drug ring and Ethan's disappearance. We need to act fast." "Come home," he urges. "We'll go over everything and figure out our next move. Be careful, Hazel. I can't lose you, too." I hang up, my heart heavy with the weight of the situation. As I drive, my mind races with the implications of what I've uncovered. Natalie's web of deceit runs deeper than I ever imagined, and the thought of Ethan caught in the middle of it all fills me with a sickening dread. I arrive home to find Silas waiting for me, his face etched with concern. We pore over the evidence, piecing together the puzzle of Natalie's operation. The more we uncover, the more my resolve hardens. I won't let her destroy our family. I won't let her win. "We need to confront her," I say, my voice steely with determination. "We need to make her tell us where Ethan is." Silas nods, his hand resting on my shoulder. "We'll do this together, Hazel. We'll bring our boy home." As we prepare for the confrontation, I can't shake the feeling that we're walking into a trap. But I won't back down. I won't let Natalie's evil go unchecked. With the evidence secured and a plan in place, we set out to face the woman who has brought so much pain to our family. It's a risk, but it's one we're willing to take. For Ethan, for Olivia, for the love that binds us together. Natalie may think she's untouchable, but she's about to learn the true power of a family united. and heaven help her when she faces the fury of a mother scorned. The drive to Natalie's office is tense, the silence broken only by the hum of the engine and the pounding of my heart. Silas's hand rests on my knee, a silent gesture of support and solidarity. We both know the gravity of what we're about to do, the risks we're taking to save our son. As we pull into the parking lot, I take a deep breath, steeling myself for the confrontation ahead. We walk into the building, the evidence clutched tightly in my hand, a lifeline in this sea of uncertainty. Natalie's secretary looks up as we approach, her eyes widening in surprise. "Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, what brings you here today?" I level her with a steely gaze, my voice calm and controlled. "We need to see Natalie, now." She hesitates, her gaze flickering to the closed office door. "I'm sorry, but she's in a meeting. Perhaps I could schedule an appointment for later this week?" Silas steps forward, his voice low and commanding. "This can't wait. It's a matter of life and death." The secretary blanches, her hand trembling as she reaches for the intercom. "Miss Carlson, your in-laws are here to see you. They say it's urgent." A moment later, the door swings open, revealing Natalie's perfectly coiffed form. Her eyes narrow as she takes in our determined expressions, a flicker of unease crossing her features. "Hazel, Silas, what a surprise. Please, come in." We follow her into the office, the door closing behind us with an ominous click. I waste no time, slamming the evidence down on her desk. "We know everything, Natalie. The drug trafficking, the money laundering, and what you've done to Ethan." Natalie's face hardens, her eyes glinting with a cold, calculating fury. "I don't know what you're talking about. Ethan's disappearance has nothing to do with me." I lean in, my voice trembling with barely contained rage. "Don't lie to me, you viper. We have proof. Messages, locations, and a trail of blood that leads straight to you." She scoffs, her lips curling into a sneer. "You have no idea who you're dealing with, Hazel. I've worked too hard to build this empire, and I won't let a meddling old woman bring it all crashing down." Silas steps forward, his voice low and threatening. "Tell us where Ethan is, Natalie. This ends now." Natalie laughs, a cold, mirthless sound that sends a chill down my spine. "You want to know where Ethan is? Fine. He's at the old warehouse on the edge of town, but you'll never make it out of here alive." She reaches for her phone, but I'm faster. I lunge across the desk, knocking the device from her hand. We grapple, trading blows as Silas tries to restrain her. Natalie fights like a cornered animal, her nails raking across my cheek, drawing blood. In a final desperate move, I wrench her arm behind her back, slamming her face first into the desk. She struggles, but I hold her fast, my breath coming in ragged gasps. "It's over, Natalie. You've lost." She spits, her eyes blazing with hatred. "This isn't over, Hazel. I'll make you pay for this. I'll destroy everything you hold dear." I lean in close, my voice a deadly whisper. "You've already tried, and you failed. Now it's our turn." Silas pulls out his phone, dialing the authorities. As we wait for them to arrive, I keep Natalie pinned, my heart racing with a mixture of fear and triumph. We've won this battle, but the war is far from over. The police arrive, taking Natalie into custody. As they lead her away, she shoots me a venomous glare, her words dripping with malice. "This isn't the end, Hazel. I'll be back, and when I am, you'll wish you never crossed me." I meet her gaze, unflinching. "Bring it on, Natalie. We'll be ready." As the squad car disappears into the distance, Silas and I share a look of grim determination. We've rescued Ethan, but the fight is just beginning. Natalie's threat hangs heavy in the air, a promise of retribution that we know she'll stop at nothing to fulfill. But we'll face it together, as a family, united in our love and our resolve to protect what's ours. Natalie may have started this war, but we'll be the ones to finish it, no matter the cost. In the days following Natalie's arrest, Silas and I worked tirelessly with the authorities to build an airtight case against her. We pore over the evidence, connecting the dots between her drug trafficking operation and Ethan's disappearance. It's a painstaking process, but with each piece of the puzzle falling into place, our determination grows stronger. Ethan's recovery is slow, the trauma of his ordeal weighing heavily on his mind and body. We take turns sitting by his bedside, offering words of comfort and support. It breaks my heart to see my once vibrant son reduced to a shell of his former self, but I know that with time and love, he'll heal. As the trial approaches, Natalie's threats loom large in our minds. We know she'll stop at nothing to exact her revenge, and the thought of Olivia caught in the crosshairs fills us with a sickening dread. We need to protect Olivia, I tell Silas, my voice tight with worry. Natalie's not going to let this go easily. Silas nods, his jaw clenched with determination. We'll keep her safe, Hazel, whatever it takes. We decide to send Olivia to stay with my sister in the countryside, far from Natalie's reach. It's a difficult decision, but one we know is necessary to ensure her safety. As we break the news to Olivia, her eyes fill with tears. I don't want to leave you, she sobs, clinging to me tightly. I stroke her hair, my own eyes stinging with unshed tears. I know, sweetheart, but this is only temporary. We need you to be safe while we deal with your mother. Olivia nods, her small frame shaking with the weight of her emotions. Promise me you'll be careful, Grandma. I can't lose you, too. I hold her close, my heart breaking at the fear in her voice. I promise, Olivia. We'll all be together again soon. With Olivia safely hidden away, Silas and I turn our attention to the final confrontation with Natalie. We know she'll be expecting us to play by the rules, to let the justice system take its course. But we also know that with her connections and resources, there's a chance she could slip through the cracks. We need to take matters into our own hands. We'll use Olivia as bait, Silas suggests, his voice grim. Lure Natalie out into the open and force her to show her hand. I hesitate, the thought of putting my granddaughter in harm's way making my stomach churn. But I know it's the only way to ensure Natalie's downfall. We set the trap, spreading rumors of Olivia's whereabouts through the criminal underworld. It's a dangerous gamble, but one we're willing to take to bring Natalie to justice. The night of the confrontation arrives, and we find ourselves in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The air is thick with tension, the silence broken only by the pounding of our hearts. Natalie emerges from the shadows, her eyes glinting with a feral rage. You thought you could outsmart me? She snarls, her voice dripping with venom. You thought you could take away everything I've built. I step forward, my voice steady and calm. It's over, Natalie. You've lost. Surrender now, and we'll make sure you get a fair trial. She laughs, a cold, mirthless sound that sends a chill down my spine. You still don't get it, do you? I own this town. I own the judges, the jury, and everyone in between. You'll never win. Silas moves to flank her, his eyes hard and unyielding. That's where you're wrong, Natalie. We have something you'll never understand, the love of a family that will stop at nothing to protect its own. Natalie's face twists with fury, and she lunges at us, a gun clutched in her hand, but we're ready for her. Silas disarms her with a swift move, sending the weapon skittering across the floor. I tackle her to the ground, pinning her beneath me with a strength I didn't know I possessed. It's over, I whisper, my voice trembling with emotion. You've lost, Natalie, and you'll never hurt our family again. The authorities arrive, taking Natalie into custody once more. As they lead her away, she shoots us a final, venomous glare. This isn't over, she hisses. I'll make you pay for this if it's the last thing I do. But her words hold no power over us anymore. We've faced the darkness and emerged victorious, our love and our bond stronger than ever. As we watch the police cars disappear into the night, Silas takes my hand, his touch a silent promise of the future we'll build together. A future free from fear and pain, where our family can heal and grow. We've won the battle, but the war is far from over. Natalie's evil runs deep, and we know she'll stop at nothing to seek her revenge. But we'll be ready for her. Together, as a family, we'll face whatever challenges lie ahead. For now, we'll cherish the moments of peace and love, knowing that they're the most precious gifts of all. And we'll hold fast to the knowledge that no matter what the future brings, we'll always have each other. Always. The courtroom is packed, the air thick with tension as Natalie's trial begins. Silas and I sit in the front row, our hands clasped tightly together, a united front against the woman who nearly destroyed our family. Ethan sits beside us, his face a mask of pain and betrayal. I can only imagine the depth of his suffering, the realization that the woman he loved and trusted was nothing more than a viper in disguise. As the proceedings unfold, the evidence against Natalie mounts. Witness after witness takes the stand, painting a damning picture of her crimes and deception. Her lawyer tries to spin a tale of innocence, but the truth is too powerful to be denied. In the end, The jury reaches a unanimous verdict. Guilty on all counts. The judge sentences Natalie to a lengthy prison term, her once perfect facade crumbling as she's led away in handcuffs. But even as justice is served, I know that the road to healing will be long and difficult. Ethan retreats into himself, his eyes haunted by the ghost of his shattered marriage. Olivia clings to us, her young mind struggling to make sense of the chaos that has upended her world. Silas and I do our best to provide a stable foundation, to create a safe haven amidst the storm. We spend long hours talking with Ethan, helping him to process his grief and anger. We shower Olivia with love and attention, reassuring her that she is cherished and protected. Slowly, painfully, our family begins to heal. Ethan starts to open up, to share his fears and hopes for the future. Olivia's laughter returns, her innocence a balm to our weary souls. But even as we start to rebuild, the specter of Natalie's revenge looms large. We know she won't accept defeat easily, that she'll stop at nothing to make us pay for her downfall. One evening, as we sit around the dinner table, the doorbell rings. Silas answers it, his face growing pale as he reads the note left on our doorstep. "What is it?" I ask, my heart pounding with fear. He hands me the note, his voice grim. "It's from Natalie. She's threatening to hurt Olivia if we don't recant our testimony and help her secure an early release." I feel a white-hot fury rise within me, a primal rage that threatens to consume me whole. How dare she threaten my granddaughter, the light of our lives? But even as the anger burns, I know we can't stoop to her level. We can't let her poison infect us, can't let her twist us into something we're not. "We'll go to the authorities," I say, my voice steady with resolve. "We'll tell them about the threat and let them handle it. We won't give in to her demands, no matter what." Silas nods, his eyes shining with pride and love. "You're right, Hazel. We'll face this together, as a family, and we'll come out stronger on the other side." The next few weeks are a blur of police interviews and heightened security. We keep Olivia close, never letting her out of our sight. Ethan throws himself into his work, channeling his pain into something productive. And through it all, Silas and I stand tall, our love a beacon in the darkness. We know that Natalie's evil can't touch us, not really. Not as long as we have each other. Finally, the day comes when we receive word that Natalie's threats have been neutralized. The authorities have uncovered her network of accomplices, dismantling her web of corruption from the inside out. As we sit in the living rooms, surrounded by the warmth of our family, I feel a sense of peace wash over me. We've been through hell and back, but we've emerged stronger, more united than ever. Ethan takes my hand, his eyes shining with gratitude and love. "Thank you, Mom, for everything. I don't know what I would have done without you and Dad." I squeeze his hand, my heart full to bursting. "We'll always be here for you, Ethan, no matter what." Olivia climbs into my lap, her small arms wrapping around my neck. "I love you, Grandma. I'm so glad we're all together again." I hold her close, my eyes stinging with tears of joy. "I love you too, sweetheart, more than you'll ever know." As the evening wears on, we talk and laugh and cry, the bonds of our family stronger than ever. We've faced the worst that life has to offer, and we've come out the other side, battered and bruised but unbroken. And as I look around at the faces of my loved ones, I know that no matter what the future brings, we'll face it together. Always. The years pass, and life settles into a new rhythm. Ethan and Olivia flourish under our guidance, their wounds slowly healing as they build a future free from the shadows of the past. Natalie's prison sentence stretches on, a reminder of the justice we fought so hard to achieve. But even behind bars, her presence lingers, a specter of the pain she inflicted on our family. I try not to dwell on her, focusing instead on the joys of watching my loved ones thrive. Ethan throws himself into his work, his dedication and drive earning him a well-deserved promotion. Olivia blossoms into a confident, compassionate young woman, her heart full of dreams and ambition. Silas and I savor every moment, our love a constant source of strength and comfort. We take long walks in the park, as our hands intertwined as we reminisce about the life we've built together. But even as we cherish the peace we've found, I can't shake the feeling that our story isn't over yet. That somewhere out there, Natalie is plotting her revenge, biding her time until the moment is right to strike. One evening, as we sit around the dinner table, the phone rings. Silas answers it, his face growing pale as he listens to the voice on the other end. "What is it?" I ask, my heart pounding with a familiar sense of dread. He hangs up the phone, his voice grim. "It's Natalie. She's being released early for good behavior." I feel a chill run down my spine, the weight of his words settling like a lead ball in my stomach. How can this be happening? How can the system we trusted to keep us safe have failed us so badly? But even as the fear takes hold, I know we can't let it consume us. We've come too far, fought too hard to let Natalie win now. "We'll be ready for her," I say, my voice steady with resolve. "We'll do whatever it takes to protect our family." Silas nods, his eyes shining with pride and determination. Together, Hazel. Always together. The next few weeks are a flurry of activity as we work to fortify our defenses. We install new security systems, hire bodyguards to watch over Olivia and Ethan. We reach out to old friends and allies, building a network of support to help us weather the storm. And through it all, we hold fast to each other, our love a shield against the darkness that threatens to engulf us. Finally, the day of Natalie's release arrives. We gather together as a family, our hearts heavy with the knowledge of what's to come. But as we sit in the living room, surrounded by the warmth and love of our loved ones, I feel a sense of peace wash over me. We've faced worse than this, and we've come out stronger. We'll face this too, and we'll triumph. Olivia takes my hand, her eyes shining with the wisdom of a soul far beyond her years. "We'll be okay, Grandma. As long as we have each other, we can face anything." I squeeze her hand, my heart full to bursting. "You're right, sweetheart. We'll always have each other." Ethan clears his throat, his voice thick with emotion. "I just want to say thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything you've done for us. I don't know where we'd be without you." Silas clasps his shoulder, his eyes brimming with tears. "We're family, son. That's what we do." As the evening wears on, we talk and laugh and cry, the bonds of our love stronger than any threat Natalie can pose. We've been through the fire, and we've emerged tempered and true. And as I look around at the faces of my loved ones, I know that no matter what the future brings, we'll face it together. With the strength of our love, the power of our resolve, and the knowledge that we are unbreakable. Natalie may be free, but she'll never touch us again, not in the ways that matter, not in the heart and soul of our family. We are the Thompsons, and we will always triumph. Always.